Hey, hey, what's going on? Everybody, how we doing? How are you today? Okay, yeah, I'm about the same too. We're doing about equal. Everything's about the same, equal, you know? I feel you. You don't even have to say nothing. You don't even have to say nothing. I feel you, you know? Uh, actually, I was I hadn't had my antennas up going too far out into actually uh, feeling people that was in my immediate presence. To I put up, how you put like a radar or barrier and everything, uh, and you don't necessarily allow anything to go past that, no matter how deep. Sometimes, sometimes no matter how deep or the person is, or the story, or the vibrate, or what the person is saying, you know, and I have been doing that, I guess, unbeknownst to the range and everything, but I have been doing it for a little while because the other night I actually went out to go ahead and go down to this one store and grab some coconut water, and it was off of Santa Monica, you know, and but it was nighttime, and the bus driver didn't announce the stops, and so I found myself sitting in the back here, in the back of the bus, and right across the way from me was this other guy, this Mexican guy, younger, and he was sitting on the other side too, and we looked over and everything, and then we started, we did chat and everything for a second, and I don't know how we got into I can't remember right now how we even got into the subject matter. Oh no, we said, oh yeah, where were we going? Santa Monica. So I thought he was actually going to Santa Monica Pier. Okay, Santa Monica. I was just going to Santa Monica Boulevard. And I had passed my stop. I saw it on the outside, but because he didn't have the speaker on stating, hey, next stop, next stop, next stop. I got into the conversation with him, and it did take me inside there with him and everything, because actually the conversation was he was getting out to go and have a few drinks because his grandpa had passed. His grandpa had passed and everything, and then he went on to tell me too, how it hit him with 3 deaths in a row: his mother, his father, and then his grandpa. And the grandpa, was the last one and everything, and I felt him on that. I felt him on that fully. And so he asked me, where I was going in the general sense, and like I said, I told him Santa Monica too. So we think we're going to the same place. And during the short portion of that ride and everything, what he did go ahead and say, he asked me if I wanted some Xanax, and I said no, I don't necessarily mess with the Xanax and everything. Hadn't been messing with anything for a while. Smoked, a little bit of weed here and there. But so we continued, and lo and behold, we passed the stop. We was way past my stop. Okay, he still had to go, and so we ended up getting off at Midway Point, like Beverly Hills and everything, and it's already dark, and so he was still going on, because that's where he was at, and I know that's where he was at, And so he was still going down to the bar to have a few drinks. Now, I would have actually went down there with him, except I didn't even have any money on me. And, just meeting the guy, hey, I'm not gonna go down there and I don't do that type of shit really. Anyways, so we got off and he kept walking. And then I got on the other side of the street getting ready to go back to the other direction. And the bus stop was further along, so I knew I had left him. We left each other. God bless, God bless. You know what I'm saying? And again, I extended my my sorrow out for his losses. You know, and so he took off down on one side of the street. And when I saw that I got on the other side of the street, the bus didn't stop over there. And so I walked parallel pretty much with him on the other side of the street. He couldn't tell that much and everything, but I left him be. But something was tugging on me. Something was tugging on me instead of, because he was opening up and really needed somebody to talk to. And, because what I did share with him, it broke me off and everything because I shared with him, my losses too, and I actually should have been more of a listening ear is where I'm kicking myself in the ass for right now. More listening because I went back into me and what happened to me. But my main reason why I was saying that is to focus, to even come up off the Xanax and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because the time right now is really, really, it's gonna be coming in waves and everything, of dishevelment, okay, disappointments, and even that of death, okay. And so, so that's the reason why I had switched the focus, to the stories and so forth. And we actually, like I said, found ourselves in fucking Beverly Hills. He still had to go further, and I had to go back the other way. But I say that, I mean, it's actually the last day. Yesterday, even the morning of Tammuz. All right, the morning of Tammuz was that of a Mesopotamian, okay, God, and not Egypt, but Israel went ahead and was mourning for him, and this was a Babylonian type of a god, you know what I'm saying? Weren't even supposed to do it, you know what I'm saying? And then, I put it up on a thing, then we have Gion Matsuri, okay? And Gion Matsuri is like a celebration from the outside, okay? From the outside. And what I mean by that from the outside is that both the words have Tam in it. Tam, okay? Whether it be Tammuz or Matsuri, all right? The celebration, everything started in 869. And 69, to me, I always go back to Cancer, tropical Cancer, and all that type of stuff and everything, So the reason Tammuz was, again, that of the death of Tammuz. All right? Now, this is supposed to be the Gion Matsuri. It's supposed to be a celebration. And the boy that's picked is 8 to 10 years old. All right? And this is in Kyoto, Japan. And it got me in a couple of places there. What I mean by that, I already spoke. One was Tam. Like Tammuz, Mat, which is math, okay? And then we have that of Tamil, okay, which is there in Sri Lanka. And this was the war, you know, in which even the army, as Maya had said, or Mia, even, or as we know just from the history of it, the army itself that her father was, you know, in the movement of, with the movement of, was separated, males and females. And so I'm not going to go too far into that and everything. That's not the point, but that's separation right there. So in wartime, it doesn't stop our sexual desires a lot of times, or needs or wants for that pleasure. And like for me, I don't know how everybody else might think, like if it was any out of all the four militaries that's with the United States, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, okay? The Navy, which is actually Navi, which is Nabi, which is like a prophet, but we go ahead and put the V in there as navigator, or Feliz Navidad, okay? Navi, and Daddy. And so this is where you find yourself on a ship, and you might even go ahead and, maybe you're not even, homosexual, but you might go ahead and engage on it, or even in prison. The same thing, and it just becomes a lifestyle. And it's not to go say good, bad, or ugly. Not to say good, bad, or ugly. Again, that's not the point right now. But we are looking at Gion Matsuri, okay? And a Gion is actually really just the last, really 4 letters. And believe it or not, the festival lasts 4 days, from the 13th to the 17th. 4 letters, but you go ahead and take le off, okay? Like Legion, Gion. And this right here came across when I found Eugene's, I didn't find it, he gave it to me. He gave it to me, as he was a member of the Legion, okay? The Legion in the army and so forth. And then, as I put the scripture also, because Jesus said, well, what is your name? Talking to this demon. And he says, we are the Legion. We are many. I call it Legion because my name is, we are many and everything, right? So that's many the devils, or many demons or devils, or, was who was actually terrifying the boy. So, and making him burn himself and stuff like that. So, it's in that type of sense. And so with this one right here, the story over here with Gion Matsuri, and see, Japan also has, matter of fact, wow, even their word, good morning, it's Ohio. That's crazy. And the red sun, red symbolizes blood. All right. So the young boy is called a Chico. Chigo. To go and come is the name of Bo in Hebrew. To go and come, Bo. Like Chicago, go. Okay. So, as a matter of fact, only thing that's missing between here is Ka. It starts out with Chi. Chi is life. But they specifically said go right here. It's the life is going out. Chico. A young boy, 8 to 10 years old. And he has two companions, two other boys and everything, which are called Baldes. Baldes. Who's Baal? Baal is one who everybody sacrificed their sons to. All right? And then we look at D's, and it's spelled, it's not Dees, it's Dies. So Baal dies. And we got two boys. So basically, if we go to the story of Jesus, and he's up on the cross, if you look to the left and to the right of him, who do you have? You have a total of three people. Just like it is one boy. And the thing about it, he's like 8 to 10 years old. See, 8, Chet, is the 8th day. That's the circumcision day of giving life and so forth. And 10 is a completion. So those are the ranges for the 8 for the boy, which is called what? Sheminawahu. Sheminawa. All right? And it's basically coming from the Shinto religion. And I have to look a little bit more into it. Or we're just looking at the idiosyncrasies. It's not so idiotic because they're weeping over here for Tammuz, right? And they're celebrating, the even the cutting of the rope. The cutting of the rope over there, to start the festival for Gion, or I'm just going to put the Legion, Matsuri. Okay, so I got to look and see how many people named Lei over in Japan. Why, I know there's definitely inside of China and that of Korea, South Korea, North Korea. I know Lei is there, that's for sure. Vietnam, we know that. So all those things right there gave me a little tongue twister there. Not really tongue twister, but a little insight as far as to like looking at just yesterday. Oh, it seems so far away. Something like that. I gotta go ahead and learn that song. But yeah, yesterday and everything, And so, yeah, all those things right there are just like, I just wanted to bring that up because I know we went past it. And then it'd be Emoji Day, okay? Emoji Day, along with all the other historical things that I had put down there up underneath it yesterday, okay? So I just wanted to throw that in there just for thought. GP thought, all right? But this guy was yelling at a damn dog. His owner should just let him go, get him. But no, I opened up today again. Listening to a lot of people today. Got in, but the first person I wanted to go ahead, she's got a young channel too. Not to say she's young and doing what she's doing, because she came in. I mean, honestly, I hadn't seen anybody that's giving just straight. We get tarot news, and we do get news like Kuan Yin brings in different types of news and everything too. You know what I'm saying? From all over, actually. But directly, with the court status and that of first of all, her name is her channel is Angel of Justice. angel of justice and everything. And when I tapped on there, she just took me pretty deep and everything into today, into today and where we're at today and everything, with some progress, even uh, to the plus, you know. And then on top of that, today's title of the Grand Lodge stepping in on these, on these karmic, karmic. Is it? There's a difference. There's a clear difference from what I see. But it was allotted to a certain degree and everything, up to a certain point, regardless. So what I mean by that, Masons. I think Masons are different than Freemasons. Okay? The Masons do, you know, actually build and everything, but okay, even though they all were conjunctionally uh, utilized for purposes to certain degrees, and they knew the time frame too. They knew the time frame. The galactic clock, or cosmic clock, I should say, for when things should actually go ahead and change, and not be so not giving a fuck shit, business, and letting things go up until a certain point, as they have done now, up until right now. And so to bring people into the legions, there's legion, and into a setting, course setting, because it just gets off the chain. It's off the chain. And so anyway, so I wanted to give her, she came in with some beautiful, I love delivery, just the news itself, just energy, just say energy, beautiful energy, you know. Uh, also, and everybody today too. It was a few people that went in on not just the grand, like I say, I always call them greater keys, with the astronomy and astrology of Solomon on that, and lesser keys, the mundane, as Mary puts it, Mary J. Blige, as she puts it too. If you look at my life and see what I see, all of that, everybody was talking, even that of Intuitive Goddess 333, My Queen's Eye especially. My Queen's Eye, she was talking straight on the ancestors, ancestors and so forth, and I think I left off with her right there. And then we went to light, and she was talking about the ABs and everything, Av, really talking about Av, okay? And in the sense of these relation, and you see where they put relations or relationships, right? And I put the N on it because relations, because we might not be in a relationship, but we definitely will move our hips for relations. You know what I mean? So that's why I put relation hips. Okay, hidden in plain sight on top of that too. Okay, So and what she say, the abductive typo, where they go ahead and you find yourself being abducted within a relationship, and that right there. Oh yeah, also, and that is an imitating absence. She spoke on those two right there, and that's exactly it, because they're absent from the relationship themselves because they have a different agenda, and then you're abducted with this typo mind frame, this typo mind frame, you know, and it's as Lady Lulu Becca was stating, she was reflecting right now on, as far as many people's, not just mine, I'm sure everybody's going through these type of relationships to where, they were just selfish and they were hurt when they were the younger themselves and everything. And, with mine, I could see it. I told her about it. I told her about it. Uh, when she told me that she loves to see men fuck, she likes to see men fuck, I already knew at that point in time. I just didn't know how deep it was. But I didn't because I had to stay on my mission. I had to stay on my mission. So every time she says she's going to go to the football games to see Makai, this, that, and I already had seen, they already trained him up to throw the little 3-finger sign up, different ways of putting it up and everything, or holding your phone, or, when you're taking a picture and all that type of shit. I've seen all of that shit, and her sister Aubrey, she didn't take it the what do you call the incest. She didn't take the incest well. She went out, you know what I'm saying? And she got the fuck clear away from everybody. Clear away from everybody. She's very protective of her children and everything. And so as Lulu Becca was speaking on that, I saw, she said she's missing, she's missing it, losing it. Might need to go in and get some help. And at this point in the game, and it is a game, because if the game had not changed, she wouldn't be going through all of these supposedly metamorphoses or awakenings or having a mental anguish because I know I wasn't the first one. She was like Trevor, so in a sense, how she would tell everybody else's shit, but she wouldn't tell her shit at all. Even to the devious, like I said, they unalived Junebug. Junebug's a 66er. He came in 66. They unalived you, and he had the most beautiful fucking dark chocolate skin, and his hair waved up like all of them. None of those kids, and they all had different fathers, but none of them had motherfucking Junebug skin. And I know they got a lot of melanin from Junebug skin. A lot of melanin. Okay? He was a prize. He was a prize and everything. So, and not only that, what happens too is like, even though the mother, you could be a firstborn son, and say your mother had many husbands. Okay, you could still be a firstborn son from your father's side. So that firstborn, is that belongs to God, and that's double. That's a yin yang on that. That's a yin yang on that, and that's the reason why I'm here right now. I'm here right now too. At the same time, the first should be last, and the last should be first. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily. So you still could be the last and still be the firstborn. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not necessarily that also of the physical, but of the spiritual circumcision coming through as you fought as a sperm, to get into the egg. As you fought, you was the first one to get there, and you had to go ahead and fight to get there because everything that we were we agreed to before even getting to that sperm to even go through and race to get into, to get here. Ta-da! Then you are already a warrior and or slash, as we're coming up against right now. And that's in two different worlds. Like we had Bruce Jenner, do transgender, turn into, forget it, the feminine essence name, but, or people competing as a female in track and field or sports and all that type of stuff and everything. So you had an edge on that, so to speak. And so all those things came into play right now, to where even we have the law, hey, say what's legally right to be, what's legally male or female. So all those things come into play. And I don't mean to go off course and everything, but those are things that come into play. But getting back on point is the firstborn son. And so that sacrifice in which, like I said, those who come out the womb first belongs to everything, a man and animal, belongs to the Lord. And even 273 were actually outside of the Levites, okay, where it's supposed to be redeemed. All right? And 273, they go to a different subject matter, but that's even outside the Levites, though. I mean, the whole, all of the ones that's supposed to be counted in from all the tribes. All right? So, and the fact that it says it gives to, I forget the actual verse and everything, but it's in John 1:1, because John 1:1 actually speaks on light 4 times, lowercase. Then it said to become, given to men, to become sons of the light. Okay, of the light. And I believe that light right there was in capital, all capitals and everything. 4 was light, and that's what we're doing. And so that I'm going to change that light to actually just to yang energy and yin energy, positive, negative, back to atom form and everything. Okay, and why? Because we're still talking about frequencies. We're still talking about frequencies, and with the frequencies, again, we're moving in them right now. So get your vibe on, okay? Get your vibe on. Right now, it is time to fucking vibe. It is time to vibe. We did go ahead and who else is here? My Queen's Eye. Maybe, okay. Got me a little note here, because my mind has been, it goes different places. You know how we do it. You know how it happens. Well, oh yeah, Chiron also went up. I mean, not went up. He was just banging on that of the. I mean, I'll be glad when somebody go ahead and say collective reflective. Okay, because what it is a lot of people just collecting, and that's what the fucking problem is. As he pointing out, it is for the collect. It's for the reflective. You know what I'm saying? So if you're reflecting something, you're giving it away. Okay. Now you can reflect something and it not be you, like a mirror or something. It not be you. You just put a fucking reflection up, and so you still say this fucking same low vibrational motherfucker behind the glass. Okay, behind the mirror. And so, but we're talking about receiving whatever that light you receive in. That light you receive in as a as what's your name? Yeah, the light that you receive in, that we go ahead and give back, to, and it came in free. That part came in free energy right there. And so you giving out free, but for everybody to go ahead and collect. But then you got to go ahead, like, what was that movie? Pass it on. Pass it on. You know? And as he was saying too, some things, you don't, maybe even the guy on the bus and everything, because I got into, some of the things that I'm sharing with you guys and everything too. And really speaking about, like, to myself too, because it's, you got to go ahead and to be read, you have to read and watch yourself. I could watch myself on the replays a lot, because we are just being, we're ourselves with our own mission, but we're also that of a representative of even all of our ancestors. All of our ancestors. And yeah, all of our ancestors. So it is good to go ahead and sit up and listen, because sometimes it's not you talking. It's not you talking. It's not nothing. We don't know where it comes from, but we do, because I do. We were before everything started. We were here before everything started. As the Joker has said, and he, I forget, the 1582, the Joker. He said, he spoke right on time and said, before all these social structures, these constructs were built and spoken into, this is how this is going to be. Before all of that, and he's giving the dates. Bam, bam, bam. Time was not called time, like that. No. It wasn't, and it was so. Therefore, as there were, even in the Indian, uh, Aztec Indian, and I remember I got it also out of Zechariah Sitchin, in which is talking about the four, because Genesis 1:1, Revelation of Genesis, right? It says, and let us replenish the earth. So replenish is telling us there was something before. Well, they had out of the four stages, or even 5 epochs before, but I think it was 4 that I had read. The one of the red man, yellow man, I want to say the white man. Definitely say, I'm gonna say the green man even. No, not I want to say the green man, because we put green in Martians all the time, right, or aliens, whatever. The green man, but that wasn't one of them. But those epochs right there, was before, before and everything. This epoch that we're in, which is the black man, and so therefore, like I said, I don't think we were talking. I don't think we were talking. That's why they made it such a big tower, the Tower of Babel, to go ahead and split the language, to give language and then split it up for the confusion. Yeah, I think we just then we came together, and like Mary was saying, as far as even going back a year, you go back, and I do that all the time. You go back a year and look at and look at the cycle of time, the reflection. Go back a year and look at the reflection. What were you doing a year ago? And all those things right there. I mean, I do that all the time, because it's the cycles are there. You know, even the time that I was getting in trouble when I was growing up, was like during the winter time, towards the winter. And even though it's designed like that too, it gets colder outside, in a general sense, and might not have people who have worked out there in the fields or the summer or what have you not, when it's being able to go out and work and make a hustle or whatever, can't do that. So therefore, a lot of a lot more uh, 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 robberies and everything happening. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those things. Right, right. And so, yeah, getting waking up and actually staying awake. I stayed awake, and Doc flamed me on. Doc flamed me on. With Imagine Dragons. She flamed me on. I mean, I was like, wow, 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 wow. And that's reflective. That had nothing to do with no collective, nothing. You know, it had nothing to do with no collective. That was straight reflection right there, and saying, hey, look, this is what you don't see. All right, look over here because this is what you don't see. Look over there. You don't see that. Look at that. Look, this is what you don't see. All right, and then it was, I can see clearly now. Rain is gone. You know what I'm saying? I saw the light, open up my eyes, and open up my eyes, I saw the sun. The sun is a lighter. I gotta go back and look at that verse too. Anyways, so yeah, she opened me up and everything, and you got this lady right now where she went on and walked down past and everything to go ahead, and they got the people on every corner to go ahead and give a camera look out to where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? They get at least it never fucking fails. It never fails. Never fails. So yeah, she turned around and went back up, walked back down. I usually stop and wave and shit, you know. But yeah, back to the beginning of what I was saying, as far as the youngster, and we didn't. I gave him my Facebook, my YouTube. We didn't even exchange names on the bus when I was talking out on a guy on the bus. We didn't even exchange names, and so it got me because I wasn't there. I wasn't there how I think I should have been for him. But at the same time, I think he needed some space, some time too. That's the reason why I stayed on my side of the street and walked up still the same direction, you know. And but yeah, I actually find a little spot over here because I got came across this one passage here in Isaiah. No, not Isaiah, Hosea. Hosea. Because Hosea was the one who actually was told to go marry a whore, a whoredom, a harlot. Hosea was told to go marry a harlot, you know, and the, one of the changes in which the wife and everything said, he says, I no longer call you Baali, which meaning my Lord. They call it Ishi, which meaning my husband. And that's back into the Ishis. You see what I'm saying? It's back into the Ish world right now. So that was a significant change right there inside of Hosea, because that's what we're ended up finding out, and that's going back to the families that were sitting up here. Even intuitive goddess 333 was talking about. Light was speaking on it also. Family, again, My Queen's Eye speaking on family again. And Lulu Becca speaking on family again. you know, and so family The way I spell it now is Fimlie because it's a lie. Okay, it's a been a fucking lie. All right, it's been a freaking lie, and this is what we're all coming out of. We're going through. We're looking at, reflectively looking at. You know what I'm saying? As if we're open enough to go ahead and first of all share, and then if we're going to fucking do the work to even look to look. First of all, not just not just uh not just gaze, like inside of Bob Marley, but man, what's Damian Marley's and everything, as he's speaking on speak life, a humble and meek life, and he got a part inside of there and everything where he stops for a minute and they're gazing, you know, and people getting stuck and not really going through not doing the work, and but again, it's by design because if we don't necessarily have these, if we weren't born into these families or go into these different relationships, then it wouldn't make us even to be at the point that we are right now. Okay, whether it be now for them to go ahead and be reflective of their thoughts or deeds or words, whether it be from the 8-year-old to the 88-year-old, right? So all of these, everything is with reason. Is how I look at it. Every single thing is with reason, and yeah, no, I just want to go. I got to look at him before I open this up. Wanted to, again, Rusty Don has been banging it out too. Okay, Loving God Wins, banging it out also. She came back on camera. About time, shit. No. And then who else? Did I say Lady Tierra? I believe so. Yeah. So, oh, Jay Hadina. Yeah, Jay Hadina. Now I said, hey, we done went back and forth. Of course, when I was on, banging and everything, hold this, hold that, and everything. So she shot back, ho, the last ho I didn't respond to and everything, So, this one right here, as far as with, when I was like saying, because a lot of us, we have skills, and we could like utilize them. I mean, what I was even pitching with Jehadina is that with her art, to even utilize work that even with the tarot for maybe even a longer session or even a shorter session, and then paint something while you're doing that. While the expression, with the cards, whether it be a 5-card draw or a 3-card draw, and then you have some different people, you actually answer some questions, and I know you read the comments and say, hey, comments or who, I'm going to go ahead and take this right here. So we're going to go ahead and give a 5-card draw right here or 7-card draw, and then we're actually going to draw. Okay? And then what you do is you go ahead and make that come to life just for that 5-card draw right there. That type of thing. And then and your and the logo. Get the logo. Get your logo. So we are way past, any type of getting pissed the fuck off shit. I mean, we are way past all that. It's not time for that no more. There's not time for that no more, because this is what drains our energy and then keeps us inside of, certain patterns that we might have inside of that we've either developed or we're actually, and we do it ourselves too. homegirls or homeboys, you know. It's out having fun, and it's different segments of time inside of our life and everything. We go through this, and you know, it's needed too every once in a while to get out and just, hey, let loose, and you know. But way past to be holding, you know, like honestly, really like the like this change, overall change. Give me 1 second. But this overall change is happening all over right now, and them not wanting to change, you know. So yeah, I guess I should have put, instead of put girl, like I'm saying a little girl. I should have said girlfriend. You know, put you know, then went on and said a thing about the logo and everything. Get about that, because the nerve of Anna is something else. Okay, I ain't tripping on Nirvana, but I'm just about to talk about the nerve of Anna. And trust me, I'm talking for personal experience. My first wife was Anna. We got Ann on my father on Eugene's side. Then we got Joanne. Then we got Mary Ann. We got, oh my goodness, I've had Ann and Annie, Erica Badu. Annie don't wear no panties is fucking for reals on all of that shit, on all of them, on all of them. Okay, so yeah, don't get in the thing of taking it personal. I mean, hey, even if you get pissed off, hey, being pissed off is better than being pissed on. You know what I'm saying? Like Moon or Noom. You know what I'm saying? Over the land down under. Oh shit. Yeah. It is it's funny. It's funny how we don't realize, and then when we do realize, a lot of us still go ahead and say, fuck it. Still gonna just stay the same. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so I got to this section here inside of Hosea I wanted to read to you guys, all right? And this is pretty much it right here, right now, what's going on, all right? So it says here, it says, talking about Hosea chapter 7. It says, when I would have healed Israel, then the iniquity of Ephraim was discovered, and the wickedness of Samaria. Samaria is deep. Okay, Sa, for one, is feminine. Ma, we see Ma, that's feminine again, right? Ria, that's really what a 99. That's a 99 right there. And a 1, all right? That's a 99, so that's pretty deep. And what's even deeper, you know how they have the watch towers, right? Everybody, the watch towers? Samaria is the fucking watch station. That's deep. So the lady, the Samaritan, up inside of New Testament, where they talking about with Jesus there, the Samaritan, that's deep. That's real deep, deeper than motherfuckers. I mean, if people don't know, that shit is real deep. All right. So the wickedness of the watch station, not just fucking Samaria. We're not talking about a watchtower either. We're talking the fucking watch station. All right. Now, as even say, for instance, the word "dam," it means blood. So like Damascus, Damask. Okay, first is feminine. Dam is feminine, which also means blood, which goes back to that the menstruation cycle of the feminine. Okay, Damascus. Okay, that SC is 193. Okay, and so that is the Mahabone right there coming down again with that fucking uh, curse the day he let it go. Nothing man. Isn't it something? Nothing, man. Called back to Noom again, a bolt of lightning. And she took it down too for a little while. She just don't, she don't grasp, she don't get it. Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, this is the watch station right here, you know what I'm saying? For they commit falsehood and the thief come in, and it's italicized, so it's really not in there. So come in the truth. What is the truth? The truth is God. G, as we call God, is G-A-D, God. And God means truth. God means military. Okay? So let me go back over there. Falsehood. Okay, so wickedness of Samaria, that's the watch station. Okay? They commit falsehood, semicolon. And the thief cometh in, the troop of robbers spoileth without. So the military of robbers spoileth without. They don't have without remorse. There's just no fucking, hey, this is war. This is we're attaching up everything. Even as the scriptures tell us out here, says, hey, if you go into war and everything, and you take all the fucking men, you take the women, shave their head, let them mourn for a couple of years, and then or a lot of time. And this is a commandment. This is a commandment. Let them mourn. That's what I'm saying. This is the yin yang inside of it. Let them mourn and then go into her. Go into your maidservant. All right? So, or second wife, as they would go ahead and put it. But even as we look right now, like the way that we get over here in America get married is it's for life. But contractual marriages would say for a certain amount of time, that happens all the fucking time over in other marriages, especially with Islam. Okay, because people work afar, as we went over when did the Tan Globe. Men work in other countries and everything, and all the women are at home or different places that are far away and everything, and then that's how men of Egypt came about, basically. Men of Egypt, like what's his name, Michael, or Minos Taro. That's men now. Well, men before, men now is in the Pisces fishbowl, and they still coming out, but it's Aquarius season now. Men now is in the Pisces fishbowl, just like his motherfucking logo says. And Pisces fishbowl, pretty much what we went ahead and did is we went out to war again, and we go ahead and come home, and we know many people know it happened to me too. I went over the fucking Desert Storm, came back, even though I said, hey, GP, I'm not tripping. If we weren't married, but hey, when we come back, let's be respectful. And she wasn't respectful or shit or nothing like that. So that shit happened without a contract. So those with the contracted fucking marriages going away, and then, we doing what we doing as men out there too with the fucking yeah. That brought me back up with Carrick again when he went to Thailand. I didn't go, but going to Thailand again. One of the stories again. Going down the street and it was Benny Boys. Okay, it looked just beautiful fucking damn. They did some beautiful work for plastic surgery, and over in Thailand to look like women. Oh my goodness! And Carrick, everybody found out that hey, they was inside one of them, Benny Boy joint and everything. That's why it's called Benny and the Jets. Okay, who is that? Benjamin. Okay, and so fucking so what happens is he goes ahead inside this club, and everybody then found out. Okay, we awake, but we inside of a what do you call it? A Benny Boy club. And Carrick, he didn't believe it. He's like, nah, and everybody's waiting for him to wake up, and so he finally sees him wake up, and so he tries to, he slid his hands up underneath and everything, and then Benny Boy pushed his hand back down and everything. You know what I'm saying? And then started, kissing. I mean, fucking look beautiful. I'm telling you. So he slid his hand up there, and so he went to touch it because he wanted to see. And he went to touch it, and then Benny Boy pulled out a fucking butterfly knife, cut it from here to here, and says, "Nigga, don't you motherfucker touch my shit!" Oh, and he came back, so he had to come back from war to explain what the fuck happened to his face, with what, to his wife. Just like we come back, and then now men of Egypt, they go ahead and have to go to war, and men is the fucking priest, and so men fucks all the wife, all the wives and everything, and they call this the fertility season, and they have this to this day. So pretty much it's like, in a general sense, it's all the imam or the priest and so forth and everything, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, that it's fucking, just fucking, okay? Catholic Church, same thing. All of it is the same fucking thing. That's the reason why, another reason why they wear the loose clothing and everything too, because hey, you can fuck really fast, and get your knot on your forehead, that's where them knots come down there from. I tell you, kid you not, I mean, why is it gonna rub? Why are you gonna get that rub up there like that? Like what's her name? Anyways, I ain't gonna go there with her. Can't think of her name right now either. Anyway, but Africa. But anyways, let me get back to this thing. 7272. Okay, and they consider not their hearts, and that I will remember all their wickedness. Well, I was still on the same subject. Not their own doings have beset them about. Semicolon. They are before my face, or they are surrounded by my face. 7.3. And they make the king glad with their wickedness, comma, and the princes with their lies. Comma. 7.4. And they are all adulterers, and the oven heated by the baker, who ceaseth from raising after he hath kneaded the dough until it be leavened. Okay? So the baker who stops raising after he has kneaded the dough until it be, okay. So yeah, he stops, he's supposed to keep kneading the dough and everything until it raises and everything, but the baker didn't even fucking do that shit. Okay? So even in the day of our king, the princes have made him sick with bottles of wine. Wonder what was in that wine, huh? And he stretched out his hand with the scorners, for they have made ready their heart like an oven, whilst they lie in wait, colon, and we do mean colon. Their baker sleeping with all the night. Their baker sleepeth all the night, semicolon. So these are like the Seminoles and shit, the Seminole Indians and everything. They're not a full, they didn't come from the colon family and everything, which basically run a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? So they just semicolons. You see what I'm saying? Like we got half breeds, let's call them, Semites, you know what I'm saying? Medianites. So the baker sleeping with the baker sleeping all the night, semicolon. In the morning, it burneth as a flaming fire. All right. So they even talk. How I looked at that. The baker, they're doing the semicolon, and then they burning. They might not have been wearing a condom. They might not have been wearing a condom, and they might have some shit like like who was saying that today? Somebody was saying, oh my goodness, yes. Somebody was saying that a couple of our collective have collected some, like I said, these diseases and everything. Like I know my ex-wife did, and they spread it like it ain't no fucking, it's like there's no tomorrow. And for them, it probably isn't a tomorrow. They probably feel that way. So that's why they don't give a fuck. Okay. So all the
They're all hot as an oven and have devoured their judges. Woo-wee. That's exactly what we're talking about. That's even on a sexual tip. Hot as an oven and devoured their judges. So even some of these judges, this motherfucking got, AIDS or something that's incurable, fucking diseases and everything, right? And it has a semicolon. And all their kings have fallen, colon. Ooh, the kings got really in the colon. There wasn't no semi. So there's none among them that calleth unto me. It didn't say calleth unto I. It said calleth unto me. That's why I say me. Okay. Okay. Ephraim have mixed himself among the people. Damn. Ephraim, and we're talking about this, mixes himself among the people. It didn't say, and people is a person, place, or thing. That's lay again right there. It's lay. People lay. Ephraim is a cake not turned. Damn, that is not cool. It's not gonna bake evenly, right? So we got these half-baked cake type people, you know what I'm saying? So strangers have devoured his strength, and he knoweth it not. Yea, gray hairs are here and there upon him, yet he knoweth not. That's saying that even with these people with the gray hair and shit, that's what I was saying. We got youngsters that fucking know more. That panic. Youngsters who are our recycled fucking them, our recycled ancestors that will come into a family. Okay, will come into a family to do the work, and what do they want to do again? They sacrifice them again. They sacrificed their firstborn. The weeping of Tammuz. Going back to I'm going to say not Gion Matsuri. I'm going to say Gion Matsuri. That's what I'm going to say, Gion Matsuri, because that's what that shit is. That's what the celebration of it is. Because it is actually not just giving of the 8-year-old, 8-year-old is also the circumcision day. 8 days, it's also, so 8 to 10, like I said, at completion, or even if you add it up, that's 18. And so 6 times 6 times 6, or 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. That's that DNA. Again, all on that. So that's a Japan's holiday. It's a celebration. And even never mind, we're not going to stop there. Okay, so strangers have devoured his strength, and he knoweth not. And yet the gray hairs are here and there upon him, yet he knoweth not. I mean, doesn't have any retaining the knowledge. She or he is not utilizing the knowledge that they have to the yang. Okay? And the pride of Israel testifieth of his face, a colon. And they do not return to the Lord their God, nor seek him from all of this. Ephraim, verse 11, 7-11, highlight, Ephraim is a silly dove without heart. Wow. A silly dove without heart. They call to Egypt. That we were just talking about men in Egypt. They call to Egypt. Remember, Egypt is over in Africa, not here in Shemit, but it's still the same things that were brought from Egypt over right here too. Okay, but that Egypt over there, that's more of for the currency, meaning the pyramids and so forth, the currency of the earth and everything that was built. It's more for the currency of the earth. This one right here is where all the money, the currency is, because why? Because of Wata. It's not landlocked. That's why everybody come over here. All right? North America, which means hidden. Shh, don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Isaiah 55, because we're going to go over here and become Freemasons. We know the Masons did, but we're going to become Freemasons this time, mister, okay? All right. So Ephraim is silly, a dove without heart, colon. Ooh, colon too. And they call to Egypt as they go to Ass, Syria. They can straight tell you where to go. Okay, they're going from the colon to the ass, and they're serious about it. They're serious about it, girl. Boy, they're serious like a motherfucker. So, when shall I go? When shall I spread my net upon them? Semicolon. I will bring them down as the fowls of heaven. I will chastise them, comma, as the congregation hath heard. 7:13. Woe unto them, explanation point, for they have fled from me, colon. Destruction unto them, because they have transgression against me, colon. Though I have redeemed them, yet they have spoken lies against me. And that is the 7:13 we're talking about right there. Whether they're copy paste in and they have different meanings altogether, but if we go ahead and take it as this whole, and we and it's not I. He said they have spoken lies against who? Me. Me. That's why I say me. Why do I say me? Because when it came down with giving us these social constructs, okay, military social constructs, all of commerce, okay, all of agriculture, everything, they were called the me's. Okay, that's why I say me, because this is what we did. And so they said, yet they have spoken lies against me, meaning those things that we brought down to go ahead and set up. That's what I believe. I know it to be. I know it to be, because that's what I know it to be. This is how they're wording it. Is the word is when you see the flow of language and everything, you see it, then they could tell you something else, but they be talking to me till they blue in the face. All right. So 7:14, they have not cried out unto me with their heart, and when they howl upon their beds, colon, they assemble themselves for corn and wine, and they rebel against me. Corn, children of the corn, and wine. Wine is mixed with their blood. This is Napa, California, Napa Mental State Sanitarium, which they, turned into a sanitarium, and then went ahead and made the whole place a vineyard. And sanitarium, these are the rich lands. These are our rich lands. These are all of the, in every state, we have those, whether it be pyramids, which they have, covered up with the green to make it look like just mountains and so forth, or mounds, and they're still fully functional underneath too. A lot of them are fully functional underneath, right? And so they rebel against me. 15. Though I have bound and strengthened their arms, yet do they imagine mischief against me. 7:16. They return, but is italicized, not in there. They return not to the Most High. So that Most High is lowercase with a colon. So that Most High, colon. You like the colon. All right? He didn't want the semicolon, he wanted the colon. Or she wanted the colon. All right? They are like a deceitful bow. Colon. Bam. Bow. Wow. Okay. Their princes shall fall by the sword and the rage of their tongue. So these are the whiners and shit. I call them the whiners and shit. Basically because, like, again, when you just, try to, or not even try. First of all, if you just defend yourself and everything, and it's not they don't like it, they go into a fucking rage. Somebody was saying that today too. Like I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like a cousin Jin Jin. with being stuck on fluid. Time is fluid. And, time, we got sands of time. We have the hourglass, okay? It has sand in it. It keeps time, okay? We have digital. Digital keeps time, okay? We have, and pretty much that's where we're at on quantum. If we want to go there, let's go the electricity route on that. And it not necessarily being fluid, so let's do electricity on that ship. Since we are positive and negative, you know what I'm saying? Let's go that way. So, but to not be flexible and say, that right there, and then go into a rage, that's what we're talking about. Honestly, that's what we're talking about. Why can't you share a fucking meaning of the word? It is not fucking. All these words are fucked up any fucking way. This is fucking English coming from Latin. It's a dead fucking language. What the fuck is people tripping on? Time is really emit, and emit in the Ivrit is fucking truth. Okay, Trooth, not the U. Why? Because the U go to Ophiuchus. All right, the serpent, and that's not a man bearing. That's not a man bearing a snake. That's a woman bearing a snake. That's Eve in the garden with the snake, Ophiuchus. All right, and so the reason why we're going with the OO and everything, because IN is really in the paleo, as they put paleo because they wanted to lay inside, like that's parlay. They want to lay, so they made that word up for paleo. But for instructional purposes, we're just going to stay on that right there. So with the paleo Hebrew, the IN is not looking like a rifle as it does inside of the Phoenician Hebrew. It's really is a snow. Okay? No. And the last letter, meaning Tav, is really an X. So it's X's and O's. And Ayin means fountain, water. Fountain, water, spring. This is water. Okay, so this is the Ayin. So this is the reason why they took Ayin, but Yin is actually coming. So it's not necessarily a positive. So you have to look at it and everything, because yin comes from fucking China. I mean, what is yin? Destruction. It is the karmic. It is the chaos. So yin is chaos, but yet within that chaos, if it's a circle, and this is where we got the circle from even the Tao. Why? Because the circle is even split. And we have a circle inside of that too. So so that's the yin and the yang inside of that. So that I would rather have that as truth than the U of Ophiuchus for this language right here. Do you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Because we have the rotation of the changing, the I Ching, the Ching, and that's what we're sitting up here really basically talking about right now is monetary currency. Why? For the energy that we have put out into the world, whether it be good or bad. We can take it, either way right now. It's just instructional purposes. We're talking about energy. But they're wanting to go ahead and just keep this yin energy, this yin. That's why everybody got these eyes up over them, when it's supposed to be the me's. The me's are really the Kok, meaning the laws, the statutes of the cosmic law, to the commonwealth that should not have been usurped. And why does it start with a U? Again, because Ophiuchus. And it's not a motherfucking damn dude. Not a man on that shit. It's not but we, are all masculine and feminine, so therefore we do fall into that. But, for the land portion of the earth, unlike the sea and the seahorse and everything, who gives the birth, the male there, feminine gives the birth here. Until we get back into our state again of where we are, I forget that name of that movie again, where, we're just touching the trees and everything again, you know what I'm saying? Touching the trees. Or we are already rooted and we're taking off these damn shoes, right? And we actually rooted, and we're talking through the as we are Earth. We're talking through the Earth, through the resin. So we don't need the Schumann resins. We don't need the Schumann resins. Do you see what I'm saying? That's the Schumann resins, which fucking disrupts our fucking feet from actually being rooted in the earth. And see, so we go back to the word rooted with truth. If we can't root it with truth, why don't we keep the two O's with root with truth? Why do we got to go to a U? Why? Why? If we know rooted is rooted, then I'd rather have that word for those O's for truth. Do you see what I'm saying, cuz? So, last verse. And they return not to the Most High. And that, again, that's the lowercase Most High. So they're saying, hey, basically keep it the same. Do what the fuck we've been doing. They are like a deceit. No, okay, so this right here this is another going to be a colon. So this is a paste in too. They are like a deceitful bow. So that's a positive. That's a deceitful bow. A bow that's, a bow is for war. That's a positive. You see how we just did it? We just went from the negative, lowercase most high, lowercase most, capital high, okay? And when we go to capital, why is it a capital? Because of capitalism. Because of capital. We're talking money again. So why? Yeah. Excuse me. So that's the reason why Most High is like that too. All right. So Holy Spirit is like that too. They only have one usage of Most High, where both is double, or all capital, and they only have one usage of Holy Spirit, where both are capitals. Okay. Side of King James. BT Dub. By the way. All right. So the sword for the rage of the. Okay. For their princes fall by the sword for the rage of their tongue. That is what's happening right now. That's what we're talking about. The princes, as even Prince had to fucking walk off stage and everything. He had to retreat. Number 33, I Ching, which he was fighting about his fucking money that he made over his, his fucking music. His music. Fighting about it. Coming to kill him. Shall fall because of his tongue. Again, that's what I don't like a motherfucker. They don't like me either. I'm not gonna lie. They don't like me either. Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. Princes falling by the sword. Now that's true. For the rage of their tongue. Their rage against this cage. That's what the rage is against the cage. Nobody want to be in no fucking cage or in a box. And this shall be their derision in the land of Egypt. And again, and that's the end of it right there. And that is the spiritual Egypt in which everyone is in right now. Okay, everyone is in, that we're breaking these chains, and that Egypt, that's the 57. Okay, so that's Al Muasi. EG, it's 57. Right? Y, that's what? 7. So that is a sword. Sword to what? P, pay is the mouth. And Tav, or T, or Tet, is number 9, which means goodness, humanity. Now you can take it in that form, and that goodness, humanity, or you can look at the actual word, and it's jihad. It's not good, because that'd be goth. Because then why wouldn't that? It's 2 O's, right? Like truth. I'm sorry, like root. So that should be good, not good, good.
If root is roots, like roots, then that should be good, not good. Do you see what I'm saying? So look at the word. That's jihad. That's jihad. What's jihad? And it's fucking war. Jihad. It's war. Good, goodness. Jihadness. What's the NE? That's 5-5. That's 5-5. That and 5-5 is either abundance in the I Ching or that of Satan, which is Sa, which is feminine, and Tan, again, going back to Tanzania, okay, because that's the brain of motherfucking Africa. All right? And so the good, okay, so the human, that's going to be what's the fucking name again? Hanu, human. So the Hanu, which is basically the ape, as we share so much DNA, okay, you know, that as we know that even uh, uh, Oliver and at a Coco, fucking smart as a mother. Everybody's smart as a mother. And because even I remember seeing, if you've seen these gorillas and everything too, I forget which one his name and everything, but it was at a zoo, and he felt the earthquake coming, and he broke the fucking damn, got out the zoo to go, broke the damn, big ass fence, broke it down to go ahead and save a child before the earth fucking swallowed open them, and then when it was all said and done, they went and dedicated it and built a memorial and put the whole story inside of there. You know what I'm saying? So, but the animals, even Coco said, human, man, don't fucking get it. That's because Hanu, man, became thinking man and wanted to go ahead and a lot of that stuff, like I said, and the reason why I'm not banging in the homosexual thing at all, I'm just giving it, straight facts what it is, because apes don't come from here, not in North America. That's Africa. Okay, we have some that has cultivated and everything, but that's Africa. So that's the reason why, again, they took us as melanated people over here and took us through all the different names. Nigger, we're not fucking from Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Black. So that's for the Black's Law Book and everything to throw us inside the motherfucking jail to go ahead and take the motherfucking land. Okay? And black meaning dead in that sense right there. You know what I'm saying? And we can get into the technical. I'm just going through the names and everything to right now. And then to be an African American, I'm not from fucking Africa. I'm not from Africa in that sense. Okay, and not only that, it wasn't called Africa before. So even all of the names and everything, it changes the whole. It morphs every fucking thing. The veerball. Okay, it's called the morph. When you morph fucking words, it morphs and it changes. This is why Matrix called Morpheus. Okay, so all of that shit right there, one must take into account when just walking down the fucking street, and especially reading these damn books or reading these books. You know, that's why it says, "Study to show thyself approved, that a workman need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of TROOTH, truth." And that's an equation right there. It's not just fucking English or whatever, or language and everything. That's fucking math right there. It said rightly dividing, so it's telling you what the fuck to do right there. We got to divide it. Well, if it's all true, then why do they have to divide it? Those are the reasons why I was saying a colon, semicolon, lowercase letter, uppercase letter, spaces between words that are larger than other spaces and so forth. That's Morse code right there. All that shit. So we got some. Got a little ways to go. You know. But I think we're doing pretty good. I think we're doing pretty good for those of us that are on our mission. We've been doing it. We're not just laying down a missionary style, you know what I'm saying? But we're actually on our mission. We are, you know, whether it be, yeah, we'll just leave it at word. I don't fuck with it. But you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. All right? We there. We there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I ain't got to say too much. Like if we know, then we know, right? Yeah. So, well, I hope we was able to, I hope I wasn't all over the place. As started out trying to hone in, but I think we did it. I think we did it. It wasn't just me, you know. That's reflective here, all right? That's reflective because if I didn't start out with everybody that I did tap in today to, tapped into your towers, tapped into your eyes as you spoke your heart and situations out, to bring some light and understanding to some of the darkness that each of us are going through. And like I said, even I can get inside my own way, my own way and everything a lot and miss things. A lot of times I'll sit up there and even watch a video, and because we fade in and out, and it's listening. It goes back to listening again. The art is really dying, and that is the 4 stages of going in and out. We didn't hear shit at all, and that of listening with a pretense. So when you somebody's speaking to us and it triggers something in us, and we all get this is the one that gets us a lot of times, okay? The pretense. It triggers something in us to go ahead and think about something. And so therefore our hearing, we're not listening. We're not listening at the time. Our hearing goes out and then we come back in again. And sometimes we go out, especially if we're just watching and we're not necessarily engaging directly with the person or people. We'll miss something because it made us think something and we didn't pay attention. And then we have that, and this is where, motherfuckers on this one right here, that selective hearing. I only want to hear what the fuck you want to hear and say, fuck that rest, fuck what all that shit you say, bruh, or sis, fuck what you talk about. Yeah, right, okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. I slip into that one too. And then to repeat. And that's what I'm talking about as far as like, it's cool to go back over and rewatch the damn videos because you miss so much. And with all the baseball going on and all that shit and everything, you know what I'm saying? Everything, you know what I'm saying? Everything. It's you got to go to umpire school basically, and get your hand booklet out, you know what I'm saying? Your handshaking booklet out, and or either definitely know how to go ahead and throw your gang sign and everything, you know what I'm saying? And which way you want to do it, which way you want to do it, which way you want to do it. So all of those things are rolling at the same time all the time. And everybody's at different levels. Everybody's at different levels. Everybody's at different levels. So take it easy. Slow it down. Because it's we're not racing against nobody. We're not racing against anybody. Okay? And we got here, so evidently we must have did something fucking good. You know, we already won a race just by getting here, right? We already won a race just by getting here. So let's keep on going, guys. Peoples. All right, let's keep on going. And see what's next, huh? See what the next adventure is, eh? Hey, boo-boo. All right. Well, let me get up out of here. It's 36. Not bad. Not bad. 36 minutes to... Man, yeah. Let me go ahead and get up out of here and let you get into your night or morning if you're on the other side of the world. And or dawn. And, you know, I did go ahead and say morning right there. And that was one of the words that I just can't stand it. I can't. But at the same time, you know, you got to look at like Black Betty Oliver. She did tell me this, and I'll go ahead and keep it. You know, I don't like the bitch for shit. Don't get me wrong. You know, she is a witch, but I got to take what she said, and she's true about mourning. You know what I'm saying? But mourning is sad. Mourning is sadness. To mourn is sadness. And the ing of things, you know, is a continuation and belongs to the lion right there, the ing, you know what I mean? The company and shit over in Australia, you know what I mean? So the whole word, even words, like I said, words and shit are bought and are bought. Every single letter, syllables are bought. People, even inside the crypto world of crypto. How you doing? All right. Yeah, the crypto world, words are bought, letters are bought. You know what I'm saying? So that first happened here. But mourning itself, a lot of people, like I was started off with this whole episode of POSA, how I was riding on the bus with the guy and his grandpa had passed, you know what I'm saying? Transition. So he was in mourning and that right there. And so it does have that. It does, you know, people are mourning, you know? People are, even as we still go to the job, 5 days a week, you know, or 5 and everything, which is all which is your body, Allah, you know, gets weak, you know what I'm saying? So it mourns, you know, for some rest and everything too, in a general sense. And that of, you know, tapping into, you know, as he was talking about this yod, this day, you know, and I spell it DAE, you know, Department of Atomic Energy, and that is what is inside of this Allah, this body. All right, and it's not just, you know, the sun coming up there. We got to have the soul as the English has taken it right now. Nefesh, nefesh, in the Ivrit is soul. So without the nefesh and the shin is really the fire right there. Without that nefesh, right? And the NEP is really, that word. All of this, even the Ivrit, is not because Zephaniah 3:9 tells us what? That all of this word right here, he's going to return to us a pure language. A pure language. Okay, so even the word pure is fucked up because it's erupt. Erupt. Okay? P-U-R-E is erupt. And if it's pure, then how in the fuck is going to be erupt at the same time? Come the fuck on. I mean, that's even... Damien had a girlfriend named Carrie Roop or Rupert Murdoch. That's all the same fucking thing as... It starts with the same thing as pure. And we know about Rupert Murdoch. He was pure motherfucking evil, almost like George Soros. Billionaire Rupert went over there to fucking Hawaii. I told her I was gonna shut up, huh? But shit, it just runs on. Fuck. Yeah, we went over there to Hawaii, Dole, the plant, and everything in Maui. Shut that shit down. And they just took all the motherfucking damn pineapple plants and everything and took it to motherfucking Taiwan. And told Hawaii because of Mu, alright, Maui, which is right there. And they're really preserving it because that's where the highest percentage again is that of Asians to Hawaii. Alright? And Hawaii is really Chava. Alright? They just take the CH as Chava, and that's the name of Eve. Okay? That's Eve's name instead of the Ivrit. It's Chava. And so the the Hawaii is 99 and everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. As in Aloha, right? It's really Ola, right? Aloha is, hi, and, the good greetings. But Ola in Spanish is hi, but Ola in Ivrit means to burn. Means to burn, a burning. So, and that's what they did over there. And burnt up Hawaii. To do what? To go ahead and make the land go up a little more. Why? Because it's closer to where? Closer to Mu, the land of Mu. That's the reason why. All right? So, don't let nobody move you like that, all right? Don't let nobody move you like, these people up here acting like they cows and shit, talking about moo, moo. It's pretty funny when you actually, when you get to see the picture. I can't believe I'm still going right now. Let me get up out of here. It's just rolling, but let me go ahead and stop and let you get back to you, all right? Keep loving me, and I'll keep loving you, and we will check with each other in a little while, all right? All right, take care. Ciao, ciao.